Hello, friends. This is Susan Axelrod, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. Today, I am talking about an amazing book, an anthology of wisdom shared by writers from all over the place. It's called The Wisdom Collection. I am one of the writers in this book, and we were asked to share one piece of wisdom that transformed our lives. If you know me, you know my piece of wisdom that I share in the book is about mindset transformation. Thoughts are things. You can control things. Therefore, you can control your thoughts. Today, I have one of the writers with us to introduce you to the wisdom that she shares in the book. Vickie Molenda, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
It is an absolute delight. As you know, I've been spending time on your website and getting to know the work that you do and the impact of your work. And you know, I'm personally interested in this. So, why don't we start by having you share the wisdom that you really wanted to have people, learn from the book?
Sure. So, my chapter is taking the offensive approach to intellectual property and really viewing it and managing it as a value add as opposed to a cost center. And basically, the reason for that was teaching people the why behind, why should they understand and know more about intellectual property, particularly business owners and, the way they can use it to actually add value to their business, just like a marketing strategy or funding and those kinds of things. They can really use IP to build value in their business if they know how to use it. And that doesn't really require the use of attorneys. It's more about understanding it, recognizing it, how to manage it. Just like marketing strategy, when you try to identify who your specific customer base is and the demographics for that group. Same kind of concept, but for IP.
Yeah.
So
I love you're using the word strategy, which is my fave. Everything about strategy. I'm a strategist, and I really love you've already taught us something very important for any business owner, any small to medium size enterprise to really understand the value of having IP strategies. So let me just ask you. I get it because I am a small business owner myself, and I have all of my material and property myself. How do you start that strategy conversation with a business owner?
right. So it's really about understanding what their business goal is, right? So depending on whether you are trying to have the best product, are you trying to keep your competitors out? Are you trying to build white space? Do you want to license some items? So it's really about important to know, how are you modeling your business? And based on that, that's how you can make decisions. People come up with an idea for a product and they automatically think, I need to patent this. And I'm like, well, not necessarily, right? Because it might not be the best idea to get a patent depending on which industry you're in, who your competitors are, how easy it is to reverse engineer. Maybe it's not so easy. Maybe trade secrets are a better approach because they go on forever as long as you keep it secret, right? So there's a lot of questions just to understand their business model, the industry that they're in, and how they want to run their business and what's important to them.
I mean, to tell you the truth, Vicki, even as you're speaking, I work with a lot of business owners myself, and even as you're speaking, there's a little bit of presumption in there that business owners even know the answer to your question, right? Do you find that?
Yes, so it is true. Because they do kind of come up with this idea. Oh, I found a product. All I have to do is manufacture it, sell it, right, and find the customer base to start advertising there. So it's more of a hand-in-hand collaboration, talking it out, really helping them to determine like, well, these are the various paths you can take it. Where do you want that to go financially? What can you handle, right? And if what are some alternatives? How could you make income by licensing it? So, for example, some people might not realize off the top of their head that whatever they have come up with can be used in another industry that they have no interest in, right? But they could potentially license whatever their technology is in that other industry and have income that way. So that's another way to bring in more money and value to your business, is having like a licensing stream or something to that effect.
Which that same business owner would have no way of knowing.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's what coaching, strategy, advising really is all about. Now, this is the nature of your work, Vickie?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm there to help businesses kind of tease this out, work with them, kind of let them know what's available to them, and then say, what is it that we can work with? What's important to you? What concepts are important to you? Where are you in your business development? And where do you want to concentrate on? And depending on that, we can work on what avenues we go from there. So it's very much a collaboration, and just hearing from them and what they want to do.
I mean, offline, I brought up AI several times with you, and so that must be there. It feels to me like there might be an angle that business owners really kind of can't even know or may not realize, which is why having a strategist in this arena might be helpful. Is that on point for you?
Oh, for sure. So AI is obviously a very big topic, but now there are so many angles to it, particularly with regard to IP. So, one thing, back in the old days, even before AI, one of the big challenges was, trying to, inform inventors and innovators to keep their ideas secret until they've protected it in some way and thought about it, right? So, not to start talking to people and trying to sell it before you have it protected. But so, even if we get to that point and they understand that concept, I'm not going to tell people about it, but they might go in and use, ChatGPT or some AI model and start putting in questions or information about their product. And if they're using a free version or a version that's not locked down to their own personal use, which is often costly, they are unknowingly putting it out for, those AI learning models to learn from your invention. So you're putting it out in the public through this AI model without, not realizing.
It. So look, Vickie, you don't really know me, but I love business. I love business modeling. I love business strategy. And honestly, I love money. I love businesses generating money for the business owners who worked and did the work and all of the things. And this is one of the areas that I talk about quite a bit with usually women business owners to grow their financial accounts. And so I wonder, could you tell us how our accounts will be secured and shored up financially from having the strategy, the IP strategy that you offer?
Right. So it's actually at several different points. One is by thinking about IP ahead of time and kind of crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and making sure that you're not infringing someone else's IP. So, clearing products and brands that you plan to use beforehand. Otherwise, it's a lot of money if you get hit with a cease and desist letter, or you have to completely rebrand or pull your
right after all that work that you did.
Exactly. So, and there's that way. And then also, at some point, a lot of owners have the idea that they're going to sell their business down the line. And so when you come to that point, there will be a diligence. And when you get to that diligence point, there will be attorneys who are looking at your intellectual property. So that means you have to have everything in order for them to review and make sure that, everything has been handled properly. And so you really get the most value from your business, literally, when you're selling it, by understanding the assets that you have, including your intellectual property. And the way to really do that is to really, have a good inventory of it, understand it, and understand its value, what it's bringing into your business.
I mean, now you're talking another language that I speak, which is business succession. And unfortunately, we're literally seeing, we happen to be in a time right now when what this discussion is resonating with a lot of people saying, I wish I knew her then. Honestly, we're in a transition of the G1 to the G2. We're coming from G2 to G3 of family businesses, and there's no succession plan, there's no exit plan, etc. So now I'm hearing you say this IP strategy happening early serves you, like gives you in a really long run impact.
Yes. That's exactly right. Yes. And that's why we say, do it early. And then, it's much easier to take inventory as you're building your portfolio of IP, as opposed to having to backtrack and figure out, oh gosh, like, where is all that IP? What products are related to this patent? Trade secrets is another one a lot of people don't manage and don't keep track of. Then you have to determine, what trade secrets we have, which products do they relate to. It's a lot of hard work to try to, do it in hindsight, right? And often in time pressure, and, everybody's trying to gun for that sale date, right? So
Right. I mean, for full disclosure, I feel like this is a commercial, but I'm not getting paid. You didn't hire me to do this. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is we happen to both share wisdom in a book. I happen to, learn about what you were doing and read about you and offer you the opportunity to come here. But I feel like, wow, what we're discussing here is really a huge gift and very important. So can you we just have a few more minutes. Can you just take a minute or two to what is this? You're a strategist, you're an IP strategy consultant. I know that you have all the education and experience to do this. How does a business owner kind of get started with this, I guess?
Yeah. So in the chapter at the end, there will be a QR code provided to lead you to an IP strategy checklist that I provide. And it's a great way to understand, here are the things that, are the important things that you should be considering for your business. And obviously, I'm very happy to help anyone with building up that strategy and understanding any points that they might not understand. Because really, like I said, a lot of this work, even though I'm a patent attorney, as a strategist, I'm not charging attorney fees.
Right. You're not doing patent attorney work.
Exactly. I'm really trying to build the bridge and help business owners work better with their attorneys and bringing them the information that they need to convey to their attorneys to get a better, efficient, and effective product from their attorneys.
Honestly, that last thing that you said, working with business owners to help them work more effectively and efficiently with their attorneys. That's a big thing, because if you don't have that experience, if you don't know how that works, you're spending a lot of money.
Right.
You really
Exactly.
are. So, yeah,
you're getting charged for them ramping up, for them asking you questions, when if you come to them with, handing them the whole portfolio and an understanding of your business and your business needs, that helps attorneys tremendously. And the more they know, the better they are to help you in whatever issues you're facing.
Wow, this is so fun, Vickie. Thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation. I really want to make sure that people listening don't get bogged down thinking that this is technical. There is a technical aspect here of the expertise that you have. You're literally providing an IP strategy checklist, but this is part, for me, I'm through the lens I'm listening, this is part of the vision of your business. And so that's where I want to lead people today, to understand that you did all the time, effort, energy, work, money, commitment, intention, and sacrifice to grow your business, your enterprise. And we just want to make sure that this part is sealed in. Did I get that right, Vickie?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Susan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to the book. And just a reminder that you're literally offering an IP strategy checklist. That's really high value. I'm kind of looking forward to it myself. All right, Vickie, take care. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
You too, Susan. Thanks. Bye-bye.